What is rest and be thankful, you may ask? Well, I can tell you, if you've cycled or walked up the hill to the top of these mountain range, then you will know that it'll be good to take a rest and be thankful that you've made it. I came up here a couple of days ago with my still camera. I've been up here a number of times in the car, and we're now up here and we're going to cycle. I tell you what, it's quite chilly up here. I'm quite amazed. I got out of a nice warm car and I'm shivering. Well, that is where we'll be heading very shortly. I'm going to go down there on the bike. I'm going to do a triangle ride. Well, that's looking down towards Arrochar and Dumbarton and Glasgow down that way. Day before yesterday I cycled all the way up there. It's 6 miles from Arrochar up to here, rest and be thankful, and I've got back in the car because I'm damn cold. I can see the camera shaking. When we get back up here, which will probably be in about 4 or 5 hours time when I've done my cycle ride, this will look totally different. Well, this is the start of my cycle ride. There's going to be some breeze on the camera. Let's hope that the traffic is kind to me. It's bound to be a bit wobbly. I mean, I'm on a bike. I'm on a bike! But the scenery is fantastic. The traffic is busy. But we've only got about 4 miles to go down this main road, and then we'll be on country roads. Be a bit quieter then. Chap there going fishing, I think. It's quite cool. And it looks as if I'm going downhill, but in actual fact I'm pedalling, and it's flat really, not downhill at all. But isn't it gorgeous? This is about 10 o'clock, 10:15 in the morning. Round every corner something new opens up. I've been up here when it's mizzling with rain. It is absolutely horrible. But every time you come up, the scene is different, depending on the sky and the cloud and the sun. This is the first stop off the bike. You don't see waterfalls like this when you're in the car, and by God it's cold. And right down there in the valley is where I'm going. Well, the thing is, of course, while I'm filming this, I haven't got a clue what it's coming out like, not while I'm riding the bike. But it's right down in the valley now, and it is rather beautiful. Still very cold. This road actually leads to Inverary. Pretty busy this morning. I have come 4 miles downhill and I'm quite chilly. I should have put a sweater on, but we're going to turn left here on the 815, and this is where we do the triangular bit. So we've done 4 miles now according to the mileometer, and it should be a bit warmer now I've got down lower. We're down just down the road there, well, 2 or 3 miles around the lock is Inverary. Well, this road should be a bit quieter. That's where I've just come from, way up there in the mountains, and it always fascinates me, these little dribbles of water coming out of the rocks. Sure, you've got to be able to drink this. Oh, look at all those lovely vitamins. It's just drip, drip, dripping. And there's where I'm off to down there. Bit uphill now, so it'll warm me up a bit, the hard pedalling. Oh, believe it or not, I've got the camera between the V of two branches of a tree. Two branches of a tree. I'm warming up a bit now. I'll tell you what, that's been pretty cold. Starting off at Rest and Be Thankfull and coming right down in the valley with the breeze blowing into the camera. The road that I'm on is trees either side, so you know there's not a lot of scenery, but I saw this gateway into the Forestry Commission, and there's some nice view over there. That over there actually is where the road runs that I came off of. That is the road to Inverary down that valley. So I'm pleased to say that I'm warming up a little bit, but done about 7 miles now, so I estimate I've got about 18 total, so we'll see how it goes, but it's going to be lovely, isn't it? Enjoy the rest of the trip. Right, okay, so it's 6 miles to what is it? Lochgold Head Hotel, and there's not a lot of traffic on this road, but when it is, it's half noisy. We're going to be going left very shortly and heading towards that hotel, but we won't actually be going down to the hotel. I think I'll see how many miles I've done when I get, you know, further along the road. But I'm estimating I've now got less miles to do than what I thought. We're on exactly 7 miles now, and we're going down this B839, and that links up to the B838, which takes you back to Rest and Be Thankfull. And the forestation behind us is opening up now to lovely hills and valleys, and I've got some nice views across there. There you are. Look now, look at that. You never know what is round the corner. That's Inverary over there. Don't know whether you can see it, but you can. There's the bell tower. And I've got to say it again. Look, the water's blue. People say, oh, you go to the Mediterranean, the water's blue. It's blue here as well, look. That's because the sky is blue. Oh, Ernie, you'd love it up here. I won't say the same for Mike, because Mike's already been. I think Mike's been to Inverary as well. But it's absolutely gorgeous, and I'll tell you what, on a bike, it is, you see so much more. So we're going to turn the corner here, go up there, and it looks to me as if we're going to have to go uphill. Well, 5 minutes ago I stopped and filmed the lake across to Inverary, the loch, not the lake, the loch. The Scots will do me in. You can see the road signs down there, you can see the main road, and just had to walk this, and the road continues now up there. Some nice heather growing by the roadside, all the way down here in the banking, and my feet are getting wet. There you go. Just approaching this nice little forestry bridge here. Nice little stone bridge. Looks as if we're going deep into the forest. Little trickles of water coming down there. Go up the hill here. Don't know whether I can pedal Up here, this hill, one-handed. No, I don't think so. We'll have to stop. Very dark, spooky in here, look. Very eerie, isn't it? You're up here all alone. Well, you're alright if you want to get a bit hungry. But are these poisonous or not? There's a bigger one here. Lovely, all natural stuff, you see. Some more growing up there, look. Well, it's still a bit spooky. I love all the light and shadow effects. You can't get anything more peaceful than this, I tell you. Now it's very dark in the forest. Oh, somebody comes and spoils it. There's an unusual milepost there, St Catherine's. That way. Well, we'll see if we get another vehicle come, because there's another view opening up here. There's no shortage of trees, is there? There are another car coming now. As soon as I switch on the camera, a car comes. Now look at this. Just look at this. Oh, I'm puffing a bit. But that's Loch Finn, I think that is. And that's Inverary. Absolutely beautiful. So that it's not all scenery you're looking at. Just this is just at the side of this track. All these lovely flowers, look. Just growing wild up here in the hills, overlooking that lovely view. Well, my darlings, there's no short of Christmas trees here. All got the new growth on. I've just come up there, but I've got to admit that I've walked. And I bet you every time I get my camera going, there's a car comes. So we'll let him go by. Oh, it's two that time, just for good measure. Amazing, isn't it? I've come all the way up that hill, not seen a vehicle. Never mind. Peace again. Up the incline, or hill, or gradient, whatever you call it, and now even higher yet again we look back to Inverary. It's getting farther and farther away as we get higher and higher. Okay, we're going to give it another whirl on the bike. It's a little flat bit, this is. There's a fair bit of breeze up here now because I'm quite high. You could say that this is as good as being in the Trossachs, but in the Trossachs there's not as many pine trees or Christmas trees. No shortage of heather. So quiet unless you get a vehicle. Well, there's proof. There is spiders up here in the mountains. Still got the early morning dew on. Until the sun comes right round, it won't disappear either. There's the old faithful bike again. We're still going up, but what I think will happen is we'll keep going up and then we'll drop right down towards that funny name place, Lockhill Held or whatever it is, and drop right down and then have to climb back up again to rest and be thankful. But we will see. Right, here's the start of the downhill climb. Well, it's to climb up the downhill run. That's 1 in 5. Good gracious me. I'll have to just stop and put the camera away in a minute. Sorry folks, but I dare not film while riding a bike down this steep hill. But the scenery is magnificent, so I'll just stop here and there as required and take a shot. Well, apparently what we're travelling along is Hell's Glen. So here's a few pictures of Hell's Glen near the bridge over the river, whatever. I love the sound of rushing water, makes you want to wee, doesn't it? Well, we've come right deep down in the valley, we're right near the river now. Beautiful scenery down here. Remains of buildings there, crofters, sheep farmers of yesteryear, who knows? So where we're actually going now, we're going to go to the left on the road back to Rest and Be Thankfull, and it's going to be one hell of a long climb. How about this for a beauty spot? See that water up there? The water way up there in the hills? Well, it all comes down here. Not amazing, but beautiful and wonderful. Well, you can see we've climbed up from the valley right down below. Another car coming just as I start filming. That's where we're going, and I estimate about a mile and a half back to Rest and Be Thankfull. I've got to say again, look at this. Magnificento. Well, I'm approaching the top now, and I've got to admit I'm a bit out of puff. But there you go, I recognise the scenery, so I know I'm getting very close to the main road again back to Glasgow. But it's very steep with hairpin bends. Well, there you go. We've done 14.5 miles. And we're back at Rest and Be Thankfull. The road coming up is a lot less busier, and the scene has changed because it's now, I don't know, it must be 1 o'clock I should think. And this is where I gave you the view this morning, where I was freezing cold and very, very shaky because I couldn't keep the camera still hardly. And that is where we set off from, going down that road towards Inverary. So I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this trip. It was very, very hard work the last couple of miles, but we can now rest and be thankful.